the stock market, meaning companies, new highs.
I'm not fucking leaving. The show goes on. Nuts. They're nuts. They know nothing.
An online network called Internet.
Well, it's very hip to be on the internet right now.
Welcome to Market Mania, the no bullshit approach to all financial markets, including Top Shots, NFTs, cryptocurrencies, everything Nvidia does, and of course, the largest casino in the world, the U.S. stock market. Joining me today is Dario Aliotto and Matt Glantz, and we're going to be talking about Jeff Bezos potentially buying the MGM brand, Bitcoin Mining Council forming around crazy Elon, Ray Dalio admits to owning BTC. Congratulations, everyone. Of course, we'll do our pick of the day, but first, Nvidia stock split coming up. Now, this looks like it could be pretty exciting because Nvidia has been one of those unicorn stocks that seems to perform really well no matter what's going on. And that's really because they're at the center of so many important industries. So the good news coming out just today, Nvidia is jumping today after they admit there's going to be a 4-for-1 stock split, and they've also got earnings coming up on Wednesday. So, Matt, I think Nvidia looks good here. The only concern is it's historically very expensive. So what are your thoughts on this, and are you interested at all in Nvidia?
Well, first of all, minor correction. They announced this Friday morning. Stock went from like 580 to 600 on Friday morning. It was only a 3 or 4% tick up in the stock on that announcement, which was surprising to me. It's surprising to a lot of people. A lot of traders that bought it a little higher pre-market that morning. It didn't have the same effect as everyone remembers. Tesla announced a 5-for-1 split last summer, and that stock went up like 50% over the next few weeks just because of that split. Nvidia didn't have that same kind of effect, mostly because the timing. The market was a lot different last summer than it is today. And it's these kind of things aren't moving the market like they used to. So right now, the stocks yesterday went up another $20, and now it's $6.20. It's down $4 today, but it's more about the earnings tomorrow night. And it seems like a lot has to do with the Ant deal from China, and also the semiconductor shortage, how that's affecting them. So that's really the keys to where the stock's going from here. You have a lot more of a take of Nvidia with the crypto mining, the gaming. Tony, what's your thoughts on this earnings release?
Well, there are some rumors that this earnings are going to be massive for Nvidia. Here's the 5-year for Nvidia. So they are, like I said, very historically expensive, but with these earnings and the split coming up, it looks like it still might be a good buy. The other thing to consider is, like I said, they are at the center of AI technology, gaming technology, mining, crypto mining technology. They actually had a problem, though, with investing heavily into mining inventory. They would build and build and build, anticipating miners, and then the price of Bitcoin would crash, and then the mining sales would dry up, and they'd have this massive inventory overhang. So to fight that going forward, they're not going to be focusing on mining as much. They're going to focus more on their core gamer and their data center customers. So I wonder if that's going to put a little headwind in the growth, or if we can expect that to not matter at all. So I guess those are my thoughts on it, but I still feel like Nvidia is the place to be. I still feel like it's got some room to grow as this market melts up over the next few months through the summer. Another stock that has been doing well, of course, and is catching headlines is Jeff Bezos' Amazon. Now, they just announced that they, are going to be buying, or potentially looking to buy, the MGM brand for $9 billion. They would buy all of the MGM streaming content and the brand, and they'd be making a big push to compete with Netflix and Disney. There was some talk that there might be antitrust merger problems in their way, but I don't seem to see that this makes a lot of sense. What do you think, Matt?
So first of all, it's important to note that this is not the MGM Casino brand that everyone knows. This is MGM Studios. It's their content machine. Amazon is trying to compete with Netflix and Disney. They're trying to add more content, this MGM brand has like all the James Bond movies. They have like the shows like Survivor, Handmaid's Tale, Shark Tank. They got a lot of great content. So $9 billion is a huge purchase. Amazon isn't known for making huge purchases. The last time they did that was 4 years ago. They bought Whole Foods for like $14 billion. So $9 billion here. That's an enormous purchase. But they need to compete. And Amazon Prime, everyone has Amazon Prime for the shipping, but I don't know anyone who really has Amazon Prime for the Netflix part of it, the movies. And they're really trying to make a push to make that more valuable. So Darren, you guys have Amazon Prime out in Europe?
We have Amazon Prime, yeah. I don't know how it will affect though. You never know because there is a lot of product there already.
Is it as Amazon Prime is big there? I mean, everyone I know in America has Amazon Prime, pays the $100 a year, whatever it is. It's like a must.
Not so big. I also haven't been in Europe for 3 years, so it's not such a fresh opinion of mine.
Gotcha.
Well, it just seems like Amazon can do no wrong. I don't see the antitrust being thrown at them. There's just such a competitive space in the streaming world. I mean, a guy out of his garage, if he's got a funny enough show, can compete with anything Amazon pays to produce. So I think they're going to get MGM content, and they're going to be yet another behemoth. And if you wanted to talk antitrust, which I technically don't agree with most of those rules, but if you wanted to, there's a lot more arguments you could make against Amazon beyond their streaming service for antitrust.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tony. I don't think this is going to be an antitrust issue. I think that rumors doesn't have much legs to it. Netflix is obviously the biggest player. Disney Plus is probably more important going forward than with their library than Amazon Prime. So, there's like Hulu and some other ones. So I don't think there's much antitrust problems with this part of their business.
All right. Well, speaking of other cabals, okay. So we've had a little bit of FUD coming at the crypto community for the last couple weeks. We've all been in it. First, we saw Elon Musk say that Bitcoin wasn't good for the environment. And then China bans Bitcoin. Then the freaking Pope comes out and says Bitcoin is bad. So when the holy vassal from God is on planet Earth saying Bitcoin is bad, you're going to have a little bit of a sell-off. Fortunately, Bitcoin is more secure than even God himself, and it appears to be making a sideways move, a slight recovery. That may be a bit of hubris on my part, but in the midst of all of that, many of the people invested and interested in Bitcoin decided, hey, look, we need to get a handle on this FUD, this fear, uncertainty, doubt flying at the crypto community. There's so many incorrect stories and misreporting. Let's get a handle on it. So that prompted Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy CEO, to get a hold of Elon Musk and hold a little come to Jesus moment with Elon and anyone else interested in the space, just to say, look, let's get the messaging on this right. Now, Dario, I haven't been following this too closely, but I basically got off the train when I saw Michael Saylor's tweet here. So can you take us from this point forward and some of your thoughts on, is this a good idea, a bad idea, or will it work at all?
The fact that Michael should be stepping in, it was something which I wished for last time I came into the show, because Elon was looking like out of control. And I also believed, as I said, that he probably created such a sort of panic, which was more than what he actually intended to do, possibly. He just wanted to pump his Doge bag, which is also said that he haven't sold yet. And the other thing is that he started with the energetic thing, probably was also under pressure from different sides. And at this point, Saylor just tried to do the most reasonable thing, or which it is trying to fight directly the main source of FUD. He cannot fight against the China FUD or some other sort of FUD, but this, since he's been basically the person which convinced Elon to buy Bitcoin, because it's common knowledge, this is what he did, he could also be the person which most likely could give him a speech and tell him, oh, look, Elon, this has been a bit too far. What about we trying to fix this in the best interest of everybody? And I think he convinced him, and this council It's just a way to try to fix the kind of Pandora box which Elon opened, which is a FUD which has been already addressed. Also, we have to count that most of the renewable energy or carbon neutral, the least polluting one, the least problematic for the environment, are already the cheapest way to get energy. So these are the most commonly used. The place where it is mostly used, coal or polluting kind of energy producing, it's China. So this is kind out of reach. Anyways, we also have to consider the other part of the FUD about China, which is not possible to be handled by Michael, is that possibly China is going to try to privatize the sector. Maybe they're trying to get hands into the mining. I do not believe that they will get out 100%, because all the smart actors, they understand that having a tiny allocation in Bitcoin, it edges them against the proliferation of these assets. So even if you are fighting it, even if you wish it goes to zero, if it doesn't go to zero, it's better to have a very small allocation so you don't get wrecked and you somehow are edged off. So I believe that China somehow is going to try to get the hands onto the mining infrastructure. Maybe this way they will buy a huge amount of miner at discount. We'll see what they will do. I don't think that mining will really move out of China, so it will get greener there. But definitely the narrative in here to try to fight the food, how Saylor and Musk has agreed and they're trying to do, it should be helping at least. At least there has to be now some different headline where, media should also be mentioning this. They cannot just spread FUD, right?
Okay, so Tony and Dario, I want to take a step back here as someone who's objective about this area with the Bitcoin Mining Council and seeing everyone sort of go, nuts on Elon, nuts either way, whatever they think about Michael Saylor and all this nonsense. The real problem here, if we take a step back, is every crypto investor, every diehard Bitcoin believer forever has been so psyched because they felt like this is the one area in life, the one business, the one investment where there's no politics involved. It's decentralization, right? So now we're getting a taste of reality where this is the first time in sort of like the big history of Bitcoin where politics comes into play. Now politics is starting to form. Michael Saylor has a voice. Elon Musk has a voice. Who knows what other, sort of oligarchs of crypto are now going to have more of a voice than everyone else. So just like everything else in this world, politics is going to run the show. It sucks. It's the first taste of it. Hopefully it doesn't become more important than the decentralization of the actual technology. But this is really a shot, to everyone's gut in realizing that, politics are now part of Bitcoin, which sucks for everyone.
Interesting. That is a great point. We'll see how that affects some of the other prophecies around the stock to flow ratio and other certainties that we also used to think were part of the Bitcoin price. So
yeah, Tony, I see everyone going nuts on Twitter and social media about all the stuff with Elon, Michael Saylor, whoever else is involved in this nonsense. And I don't think it's really about the the Bitcoin mining, the renewable energy. I think it's people don't realize it because they haven't figured it out yet, but they're just getting frustrated because they're starting to come to the realization that this is politics and this is not what they want. So they're just going nuts and getting frustrated and spouting out and just like attacking people and whatever because they don't understand what they're mad at, but they're going to come to the realization that they're mad at the politics.
Interesting. Well, this is a problem for retailers and a fire sale for the very people who are creating the FUD, if you ask me. But one person, one rich man who still believes in the Bitcoin project, or at least is beginning to, is Ray Dalio. He has officially declared that he's purchased BTC. Ray Dalio, of course, is famous for being Kanye West's financial advisor and nothing else. He finally came out and said he owns a little bit of this magic internet money. And shortly, this is just a few months after he was on Finance TV, I think CNBC, saying cash is trash. So he wants out of cash. He's looking for alternative assets. He's widely considered to be one of the sharpest guys out there, and now he admits he's in BTC. So I think this is some anti-FUD. I think we're about to enter a period of sideways accumulation, and it's going to be guys like this, Ray Dalio and Michael Saylor, that are going to kick off the next big bull run after the accumulation's done. What do you think, Dario?
As every billionaires is also one of those which have been FUDding Bitcoin just before buying it. They know exactly what they are doing, where they are FUDding it. And the good news about it is this, that they FUD it until it dips enough, so they have to buy it finally, because I mean it's a really good opportunity for them. And then they say, okay, I have enough, now I'm gonna pump it. So they disclose that they have Bitcoin finally, so it's gonna get better. The good thing about it is that after they buy it, after they feel that they have enough, so they disclose it and they spread out the good news, they cannot go back. They cannot go back and say, oh no, actually now it's not good anymore. Actually, Elon did, but he's a really special one, and
he's a little ridiculous.
We've seen what happened as he did, but he's already U-turning on that, thanks to Michael Saylor, and also thanks to the fact that it went way too far away, and I think he realized that he pushed it too much. So the thing is that they will keep coming. They will keep coming. We've seen many already like him that they have been making U-turn, and guess what? They make U-turn every time just after a dip. So just after they fill their bag. And this is kind of normal. I just do not appreciate it much what they do ethically, if there is any ethic in this market, because they are doing it at the expenses of people that they don't really have any clue of what they are doing. So I don't appreciate it, but I'm glad that slowly they are turning into it as it should be.
And Matt, I know you're primarily stocks, but you know, Ray Dalio mentioning that he's getting into BTC, looking for alternative assets. Does that scare you a little bit? Do you think cash is trash, or are you fine holding cash in uncertain times?
I don't really hold much cash. Like I've had Bitcoin, up until maybe a week ago, but I still have Ethereum, some other shit coins, but. I much rather have my two cryptos that I like to own are ETH and FTT, which is the coin for FTX.com, the exchange. Those are the two coins I like because they both have actual use cases, unlike Bitcoin, which is like whatever. Bitcoin, to me, Bitcoin can be replaced by other coins because it doesn't really have a use case. You can just as easily use ETH for store of value, or anything else. It's just as good as Bitcoin or better and faster. So I just like ETH and FTT because that exchange is just so much better software, so much better platform than every other exchange, in my opinion. So those are the two I like. So, because Ray Dalio is buying Bitcoin doesn't change my opinion. Anyone can buy any coin they want. It's it's their opinion. So I just have my own opinion.
Well, ETH is the one that could flip BTC, and I will be dancing for joy the day I find out Ray Dalio owns FTT, because that means we have arrived.
I don't think it's far off before ETH takes over Bitcoin and market cap. I think it's only like ETH might be 40% of the market cap of Bitcoin now, something like that. So I don't see why in the next few months they can't flip. That golden cross will be a beautiful day.
Real quick, Dario, you think there's going to be an ETH BTC cross?
It could happen. If it happens, I don't think it will last for long. There could be some sort of really bigger halt season. But that, I believe it would lead a higher blow off top. Because when this would happen, people will start getting in, halts will be pumping, they will come back. It was before Foodcoin, then it was Dogecoin. There will be some sort of bullshit coin. They will keep making new things. So this would probably trigger a higher alt season if it happens. I don't have a clear position on this, but it could happen. And in that case, when it will be blow up, Bitcoin will come back again. So,
But Dario, don't you consider ETH not the same as every other altcoin? It shouldn't be like, I think people should consider Bitcoin, ETH, and the altcoins. I don't think
I agree.
ETH
I agree.
An altcoin at this point.
I agree, but still, when ATH pump, it is highly correlated with the whole market. Also because when ATH pumps, the BTC dominance goes down, and there is a lot of trader that check that. Also, some algo trading keeps track of that dominance. So when it takes going down and it looks trending that way, people still tend to get into halts. It hypes, it auto self-fulfill itself because it starts pumping, people start getting back, people starts making meme or TikTok, all sort of bullshit, and it keeps going higher. It automatically gets into some sort of bubble again. So it could happen, but when it will happen, I think it will get some sort of top again, and Bitcoin will get a hold. Then we don't know what happens after that, but that I think what would happen when Ethereum would flip Bitcoin for a while.
The thing that's still nice about ETH is there hasn't been any politics involved in ETH yet, right? That separates it from Bitcoin.
That's another thing, but Matt, that's another thing. What I believe that all the government, all the politics, anybody which is somehow tied with politics one way or to the other, they have high interest in funding Bitcoin and promoting Ethereum, because Ethereum is like a blockchain, not Bitcoin. Blockchain. I'm here for the technology. I'm not here for all the value which tries to spread Bitcoin, libertarian, being your own boss, or your own freedom. Get your money. Don't depend on banks. Don't be confiscatable, and so on. It's the opposite. I think. It's normal that politics doesn't get involved funding it, because politics is getting on board of it. It is they are kind of rivals. I see it. I'm not. It doesn't shock me. It doesn't surprise me.
So,
right.
Oh,
go ahead.
I think Tony wants to move on, but one last question I have for both of you guys. So if somebody asks, I don't know the technology that well, not nearly as well as you guys for any kind of coins and crypto stuff. But my question is, when somebody asks you guys what makes ETH better than Bitcoin, you can give them a list of a lot of different things. But if somebody asks you what's better about Bitcoin than ETH, what's your answer?
Nobody rules it. Nobody rules it, Matt. Nobody rules it. That's the most important thing. ETH, they could be hacked for hundreds of millions. They said, okay, this didn't happen. The fact that there is no boss, that there is nobody ruling, nobody that can decide what is going to happen, it means that what will happen into the network, it will be voted by the people which are involved in it, which want it to go for the best. In Ethereum, this is not going to happen because it's not decentralized. It is actually centralized. It's bullshit when we say that it's not. That it is decentralized, because it is not. Bitcoin, it's the only decentralized coin, and I think it's clear to get why. All the others, they're not, because they have CEOs, they have who is running it. It's a complete different thing. That is a really huge thing in this world, being able to have no position in any prosperity of any private entity into any country or whoever runs it. Nobody runs Bitcoin, and that's
a fair answer. I appreciate that. That's fair.
Yeah, I would second that. I do appreciate Bitcoin's security. The thing about Bitcoin is, yes, it has failed to live up to a number of its promises, and it does seem to fail to distinguish itself from Ethereum in the ways you would want it to. But at the end of the day, Ethereum is failing to scale. Ethereum still hasn't proven that its proof of work or proof of stake model is completely seamless. Bitcoin has yet to fail, and it stood up to every test, and really all it needs to be is a store of value from now to the end of human history. And you can build structures on top of that value as long as it even exists in its current form, as long as we can put value somewhere that governments can't touch and manipulate, that is a source for liberty and justice and freedom unlike anything we've ever seen in the history of humankind. And I know I sound like a preacher at this point, but the implications go far into our history, and I'm just a believer until they crack
Also,
the hash.
Ethereum.
All right, thanks, guys. That's good.
Also, Ethereum has a lot of potential competitors. All the others, I mean, there is a long, infinite list. You can do a better, faster, more reliable Ethereum. You will never be able to do Bitcoin again because it's not technically possible. It was starting from scratch. It is the genesis thing from the blockchain from somebody which we don't know. It cannot happen anymore the same way. Ethereum, you can just redo it better. There will be another platform blockchain which will handle smart contract better. It will evolve. We don't know if Ethereum will be the top platform for smart contract in 10 years, but we know for sure that Bitcoin will represent the same values. We don't know, possibly forever. It cannot happen again, one more Bitcoin. That's it.
That's right. Yep, I love it. It's my baby, and screw the Pope. I don't care what he thinks. All right. It is time for the not investment advice. Do your own research. Please, for the love of God, do your own research. Market Mania, pick of the day.
Drop it like it's hot. Everybody stack. I'm stacking to the top.
All right, Matt Glantz, what have you got for us today?
All right, Coinbase, COIN. It's not a coin; it's a stock. It's everyone knows Coinbase, the app, the exchange. This stock, it direct listed, I don't know, a month ago at like 370. The first day was trading up to 4. I think it went up to 419. It's gone down almost every day since. Maybe there's like 6-7 trading days where it's been positive on the day. So now it's cutting like almost half. But with a lot of these direct listings like Roblox, like Palantir, there's just tons of insider selling the first month or so. And once that cleans up, these stocks sort of take off. Palantir certainly took off from 10 to 20 when all the insider selling was done. It looks like Roblox is has a schedule of coin, and that's taking off now. And I think when all this selling's done, which seems to be cleaning up now, this coin's going to be go from 235 to 300, no problem.
Awesome. Well, Coinbase is one of the darlings that really helps BTC get into the mainstream, and I think as coin price goes, so does BTC, or maybe the tail wakes the dog on that one. Dario, what have you got for us today?
I got Nexo. It is my favorite CeFi platform. I've been using them for like 3 years. They have been delivering consistently. They have been a working product since 2.5 years, actually almost 3 years, almost since the beginning. It's really helpful to optimize on taxes, because every time you need some cash out of your coin, every time you need liquidity, they will just make you wire transfer really quick at no cost. You will use the money for your expenses whenever you will be able. You just pay it back, and you do not trigger a taxable event, which is really important in almost every country. Not only in US, you have this problem that when you actually sell crypto, you should actually pay taxes on the gain. This is really important. This saved my ass many times. It made me save a lot of money. Some other time where I didn't have a way, for example, to buy the dip, it helped me also, because they also can give you stable coin. They give you also interest. And also they actually do not waste a lot of their time in advertising, in marketing and things. What is important for me in this thing is that when a company or when a token, it's really well advertised, it has a really strong community, strong marketing, the expectation get higher and the price pumps more than what the product is worth. They just have a really strong product, and now it's like 50 or more % less than all-time high. So I would accumulate that now.
All right. Well, that is a very compelling sales piece for that. I mean, non-taxable event. I guess I wasn't even aware that was something that was possible, but that's why you watch Market Mania for all these kinds of insights. I am going to pick Micron. This is the favorite of kind of the Wall Street Bets crew. It's down a little bit from its previous all-time highs. It's got a lot of volume, so it's fun to play calls and puts on it. It was down for about 2 months straight when retail started getting in. They mistook it for Micron, but when they got that all figured out, then the stock started pumping again. So you got to be careful. You got to read real closely. Okay, well, I think that is going to do it for the Market Mania pick of the day. We had a pretty good back and forth there. You gave me a lot to think about, Matt. I am a big believer in Bitcoin, but I'm glad you're salient on this issue and thinking hard, because some of us preachers, our minds are kind of already made up.
Yeah, Tony, I try to stay objective. People get mad at me because I ask questions and kind of, question people's beliefs, but, faith is not a virtue when it comes to technology and Bitcoin. So,
Absolutely.
You guys got to be careful with your biases.
All right, well, words to live by, we can leave you with that. We will see you tomorrow, if there is a tomorrow. But for now, it's lights out.
I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. I never sleep if I don't have. I never sleep. I never sleep if I don't have my medicine.
Time to right the wrong. So your hands in the air if you like the song. If you're going over there, take it twice as long. Last time ain't talking about Tylenol. Oh, I bet you'd like to know. You can come around the way if you're trying to go. If you want to switch lanes for a pot of gold or a domino, out of control. The usual. Get mad cause I'm looking at your girl.
Switch it up.
I do it so much louder than everything you've heard. Everybody heard that the word that the world wasn't turning. Act like you're in a jury. Power of turning where I would turn in. Can't lie like this is to be burning. Don't act like you're in a daze. I imagine it look the other way. Couldn't clear space on my mind. Was afraid of the time. Strobe light like in the moonlight. I'm in the mood right now. How about tonight? My interview's tight now. I was